Kuzuzangpo Bhutan e-learning project welcomes you to this lesson. This is an English lesson for Key Stage 5, classes 11 and 12. Today I will take you through Shakespeare's work and his play The Merchant of Venice. The objectives are we are going to define drama and discuss the significance of Shakespeare's work, and we are also going to look at the main events of the play The Merchant of Venice. What drama is? Drama is a mode of fictional representation through dialogue and performance, which is an imitation of some actions. It is written for theater, television, film, even for radio. Now, when we talk about drama, it is the reflection of our own actions and the performance. The primary purpose of drama is to entertain. Now we are going to learn William Shakespeare's work. To start with, his themes are universal and timeless. Every generation can relate to and find meaning with it. In The Merchant of Venice, themes such as friendship, love, and filial duty are obvious, and you will be able to recognize and relate to them. William Shakespeare's play also offers an opportunity to reflect on abstract ideas such as religious tolerance, racial discrimination, injustice, cruelty, prejudice, class distinctions, and traditional gender roles. William Shakespeare's treatment of themes engages the emotions of the audience and encourages them to challenge their preconceived notions. William Shakespeare weaves his plot around the follies of his characters, which in turn leave them at the mercy of chance. Through the situation of Antonio and Shylock, you can explore how subplots can be intertwined to heighten characterization. William Shakespeare is one of the greatest manipulators of words. William Shakespeare kindles strong emotions in his audience. Even the most prejudiced audience cannot help but sympathize with the marginalized character like Shylock in The Merchant of Venice. Now, knowingly or unknowingly, we have used many William Shakespeare's phrases and the words in our everyday speech and writing. We cite William Shakespeare's phrases like be all and the end all. I'm sure you people must have heard break the ice, knock, knock, who is there? Wild goose chase, cruel to be kind, it's Greek to me. Now we are going to look at the important elements of the play, The Merchant of Venice. The first element is a character. We have many characters in the play, but we are going to look at only the four major characters. They are Bassanio, Antonio, Shylock, and Portia. Now, when we say Antonio, he is the very wealthy merchant of Venice. He's a good friend of Bassanio. He's very generous and kind, whereas Bassanio is a young and very romantic character that you will come across in the play. He's also a good friend of Antonio. He does not earn, but he loves to spend lavishly. Now, the third character we have is a lady character, that is Portia. She's very beautiful and rich. She lives in Belmont. She is considered as very loving and caring. And the fourth character we have is Shylock. He's a Jew and a moneylender. He does not really get along with Antonio in the entire play. Now we have the next element, that is the setting of the play. Now, when we talk about setting, we have two important settings, that is Venice and Belmont. Venice is in Italy, where the main events takes place in the play. It was very popular for trade, business, and law during 16th century, whereas Belmont is a place where Portia lives, and it is referred as a land of imagination or a fairy tale, which is associated with love and music. Next very important element is plot. Now Bassanio falls in love and wants to marry a rich and supposedly beautiful woman, Portia of Belmont. He asks money from Antonio to go to Belmont. Antonio borrows money from Shylock, a Jew moneylender, to help Bassanio. On behalf of Bassanio, Antonio borrows 3,000 ducats for 3 months and sign a contract or a bond to pay money in 3 months. Otherwise, Shylock will take a pound of flesh from Antonio's body. Antonio and Bassanio, they fail to pay 3,000 ducats in time. The next important plot, it takes place in Belmont, Portia's late father's will. Portia's late father's will says that she cannot marry a man of her choice. He happens to keep 3 caskets made of gold, silver, and lead. All the suitors who come from different parts of the world to try their luck, they have to choose the casket where Portia's portrait will be hidden inside. If they happen to choose the right casket, then they can marry Portia. Bassanio happens to choose the right casket and marries Portia. Bassanio learns about Antonio's fate. Portia goes to Venice in disguise to save Antonio. The next very important element of the play is climax. Now, Bassanio and Antonio, they are not able to pay 3,000 ducats in time. Then Shylock drags Antonio to the court of Venice. Shylock appeals for justice and wants nothing but a pound of flesh as stated in the bond. Portia rescues Antonio. She comes in disguise and she finds some technical loopholes in the bond and helps to rescue Antonio. Now, the next very important element of the play is the resolution. The court of Venice frees Antonio. Shylock is punished. All his wealth and property is to be confiscated by state. According to the law of Venice, if any person from the different nation happens to threaten the life of Venetians, then they will be punished and their properties will be confiscated. He is asked to even change his faith, convert into Christianity. Antonio's ship returns safely. The next element is theme. The first theme we have here is love. There's a love between two main characters, that is Portia and Bassanio. And we have another theme, friendship, that is between Antonio and Bassanio. And the next very important theme we have is anti-Semitism or racism. Now, racism, when we say it is a discrimination which is made within the religion, within the nationals, and within the different race and gender. Now, anti-Semitism is very, very important theme that we come across in this play, The Merchant of Venice. Because of the religion, they hate each other. Like as Shylock says, I hate him for he is a Christian. Just being a Christian, they have a hatred for each other. Just being a Jew, Antonio hates Shylock. Now, the next theme we have is mercy or forgiveness. At the end, you will find how beautifully Antonio forgives Shylock. Now we have almost come to end of the lesson. Now before we wind up, I want you to go through this task. I want you to read the prelude in textbook to gather information on numerous characters that are present in the play before reading the play. And second, discuss whether Shylock is a villain or a hero in the play. And the third question I want you to look at is, if you were Shylock, how would you feel at the end of the trial? I hope you all have understood, but before we close the lesson, I want to take you through some of the important points that we have discussed through this lesson. Now, main points are, drama is a mode, fictional representation through acting on stage with speech. Now, we also talk about William Shakespeare being very popular playwrights in the world of English literature. His works are poetic, thematic, social, and unique. Plot and themes are timeless and universal. The Merchant of Venice is popular play with the romantic elements, and its main purpose is to portray the social issue of anti-Semitism. I hope you all had enjoyed the lesson and remember to read the play and look into what we have discussed in this lesson. Thank you.